Om Sadasivasmarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi Tejasvin Avadhi Tamastu Mahavidyushavai Om Shant Shant Shanti. Sri Gurum Paramanandam Vande Swananda Vigraham Yasya Sanidhyamadrena Chidanandayate Tanu. We are already in second chapter, and especially this chapter talks sadhana. And in the last class, we discussed that how the prana is in the body, and when you do pranayama, especially by controlling apana, you need to do the inhalation in such a way so that you pull the apana as much as possible up. And we have given many examples yesterday in the last class. And moreover, when this is being done, you will see that instantly how you are able to change your energy. That is the main purpose and maintaining that. And of course, we discussed in the verse number 2 that the pranayama is equivalent to pranava. As pranava has got 3 matras, 2.5 matra, but we call as 3 matras. So also pranayama has got 3 aspects. And he put it very carefully. First he put rechaka, exhalation. Then he put puraka, inhalation. And finally he put as kumbhaka, called retention. When it was highlighted that pranayama is nothing but pranava, so he said, look, that one need to do pranayama with pranava, that too with 12 matras. Means 12 times chanting Omkara. We have discussed many things, many times related to pranaya. As pranamaya kosha is in between both annamaya kosha and manomaya kosha. So annamaya kosha generally refer to this physical body, gross body, made up of only food, and manomaya kosha is mind. Now between this gross body and the mind, prana exists. So when this prana maya kosha exists, we have seen in Tattvabodha details. That means if you do properly pranayama, the effect will go to manomaya kosha. So that means it is your attitude towards pranayama. It is your rituals, it is your way of doing, and knowledge, that only will decide whether the effect will go to gross body or to mind. Because being in the middle, it is like, when parents fight, poor child, whom to support? And nowadays, children are much more smarter, okay? So in our time, what we used to do is, who becomes weaker, we support. And by default, mother is weaker, okay? So that's why children end up supporting mother. But nowadays, children have gone one step ahead. They don't do look at that way. What they do is, they support that person who is going to give me what in return. Oh. So joke here is that how that child is in between parents, and when the parent starts fighting where to go, it depends upon many factors. So also prana being between annamaya kosha and pranamaya kosha will, the benefit of pranayama will go to that side based on your attitude, knowledge, and a few factors. That's why we say that is called sagarbhaka pranayama, nigarbhaka pranayama. I think we have talked long back of these things. Especially in Italy, I have talked many times in different angles. Actually, we never entertain nigarbhaka pranayama, or that means that pranayama without mantra. So every ritualistic angle, yogic angle, there is no pranayama without mantra. Because if a person does pranayama without mantra, the benefit will go more towards physical body. And the purpose of pranayama is not for physical body. Because whole purpose is going to higher level, not to come down. That's why we say pranayama cannot be practiced before taking shower, only after shower. Because if a person does pranayama before shower, and that too without mantra, definitely that fellow will be called as a gross fellow, cannot be called a yogi at all. So we have to be very clear and careful, or else we are abusing this word called yogi. I always say very nicely that look, one of the most abused word in this world is what? Called I. Most abused word. I. Who are you? Without knowing, okay? Everybody, I. Nowadays people say, we. Hey, what is that we? That's another way, okay? So as this most abused word is called I, in the field of yoga, that yogi practice is most abused word. That's why a book also came in the name of yogi. You understand? So all are abused word. You have to be very careful how the word is being abused. And here is being said that pranayama to be made indirectly after shower only, after bath only, and with mantra. And that too, he uses pranava. It's not ordinary mantra. That means the person must have knowledge, background, elaborately. Or else pranava has no value or meaning for the person. Mind will not work. Mind will not be stable either. And he says, when this is done, the effect is something very different altogether. And how to do? What is to be done? Let us look at the next verse. Matra dvadasa sanyukto दिवाकर निशाकरो द्वसजालामपघ्नतो ज्ञातव्यो योगिभिः सदा. Just very nicely. Yogiभिः सदा ज्ञातव्यो. So that means by the yogis, these are things to be known, that too always. So these two, Gyatavyo. So these, not these are, these two are always, okay? So we have to put the word there, these two. So you can keep correcting. So these two are always to be known by yogis. Now, what are they? He says, look, they are called Divakara Nishakaro. Divakarascha Nishakara. So Divakara means sun. And Nishakara means moon. That which makes a day to happen called sun. That which makes night to happen called moon. Very nice words. So Divakara, Nishakara. And when he says Divakara, Nishakara, so what does it mean? Means the yogi, the practitioner must be aware of that too always. Both Divakara and Nishakara. Is it clear? Both solar breathing and lunar breathing. Both Pingala and Ida. So you cannot afford to say that, oh, I don't know in which nostril you are breathing. He uses this word. That's why Gyatavyo yogivi sada gyatavyo iti. All the time, these two are to be known, or this is to be known. There is no choice. And what is that? Divakara Nishakara. Don't look for search for moon and sun. That's why I say, when especially yoga tradition, those who are really, they don't do puja and other things. They don't relate with, external Ishwara, but they try to look in. But neither the person is yogi, but wants to dismiss everything. You understand? So there are people, they do it, I am a yogi, I don't want to do anything. Disaster. And that's why what they do it, they end up very conveniently lighting a lamp. That's why any yoga center you go in West, also in East also started, don't worry. So you'll find two things. 100% lamp, and that too unused as a showpiece. And of course, my friend, okay? Photo statue or whatever has to be there. There is no choice. Because why? It's convenient. You understand? And it's a showpiece. However, let us not get into. Then what happened is, he says, look, when the person is aware of it, not simply aware of it, Dvadasa matra sayukto dosha jalam avagnato iti. Also, the person is aware of it, that when the pranayama is being practiced along with Omkara, that 12 matras of Omkara, that takes care, that destroys apagnato. So apagnato means removes, destroys. Of course, what? Dosha jalam. It's nice, no? Dosha jalam means that network of dosham. So that means fallacies, shortcomings. So we said, this thinking network, especially when you are trapped in your thinking. Have you ever observed how you are being trapped with your thinking? They say bulbuleya. We have a lot of things, okay? Very nice. In fact, I remember in our childhood we had something. Nowadays I am not able to find. I sometimes look for. And in the field, there is, especially in summer, there is some type of, small, sharp type. Small, very like tiny. This side must be. And it touches your feet. That's all. Do you know what happened? I have gone through, to be very honest, and you will lose the direction. So, which is east, which is west? You cannot. And the best part is, especially in the evening, it's worst. Daytime, you can manage. Evening time, you are seeing the light. Because let us say 2, 3 villages, you are seeing the light everywhere. Which direction to go? In fact, daytime one city I went through also. I know this is how I am supposed to go. After some time, again, that impact is so strong, mind doesn't work. Again, you go around. And till that impact of the leaf or a plant is there on you, mind will not work. It will go round, round, round. In fact, I remember once, twice, I think 2, 3 times I have gone through, then after out of one. Best thing to know what you do evening when this happens, lie down there. And that is the best thing supposed to be done. Sit down or lie down. Just sit down. Allow that impact to come down. Or else it is very difficult. Or else you need somebody's help who is passing by, another person can help you come with you. So this is called being trapped. Have you ever observed yourself that you are being trapped in your thinking? And you'll be shocked to know if you are not able to say no, that means now also you are being trapped in your thinking. Every moment we are being trapped with our thinking, not within our thinking. And once I am trapped in my thinking, it is very difficult to get out of it. And this getting trapped in the thinking is called dosha jalam. So jalam means net, especially if you observe whether it is spider, how the spider catches the insect, creates the web, the net, so that the insect starts falling. Or we use the net to fish, to catch something. Actually, if you observe the fish, especially example is very strong. The fish is very free, powerful in water. But once the net is being put, poor fish is being caught. So also, I am caught with my dosham. Dosham means defects, shortfalls. So what is the defect? The most unwanted defect is I am insecure. There are many things. Ignorance is the most. So let us not bring ignorance. So what we have to bring? This, my insecurity. Then what happens? Keeping that insecurity mirror. So I have a fantastic, I don't know, concave or convex or what sort of mirror. Definitely not plain mirror, okay? So each one has got different type of this insecurity mirror. Some people have concave. You understand? Now holding on to that mirror of insecurity, I not only judge myself, I judge the society, people, and work, live my life too. And this is called dosha jalam. Most important point to understand. And he says, if you want to destroy your dosha jalam, that is called pranayama with mantra, that to 12 matra, and being aware of breathing. And when it is practiced, you see different thing altogether. Continue. Purake dvadase kuriyat. Kumbhake shodase bhave. Rechake dasa omkara. Pranayama sauchyate. So this verse little bit different than any other. As we have discussed earlier, that there are two types of or two methodology of practicing Nadi Shuddhi. One is Yathasaktiya, as much as you are comfortable. Other method, common method is that 1:4:2. We have discussed in details. But now here comes up with another version. That's why as you grow, they'll say, oh, this is contradicting. That means you have never grown, okay? You understand? Very nicely. We look at, somebody said very nicely that 1 is equal to 2 minus 1. And later on, if you start spending more time in mathematics, so you have to prove that 1 is not equal to 2 minus 1. That is called research, okay? So that is a paper, okay? So I was going through that paper, amazing paper. So what are the things are happening, okay, in this world? How? So coming back. So it depends upon your maturity and growth. So you don't practice at all. So please tell me whether to do the left or right, you do this, do that. No, please first practice whatever has been taught. Then you will be able to understand. Like you remember yesterday, I was telling somebody, asked me, why not to face south? What can you do? A first face towards east and do, then after that we'll discuss. I made a mistake. I will say, look, first 10 years practice by facing east, then talk to me. That could have been the right answer, okay? How? So here he says, very nice point, that here the concept is a little different. So you need to take the help of Omkara. So he says, while doing Purakam, Purake Dvadasi Kuriya. So as you inhale, you are supposed to count 12 times. Then question comes, how to count? Whether I know the 12 or not, how to know? Om, 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 om. You understand? No, that's not allowed. So it's supposed to be Om, Om, Om. Because 3 matra, pluta being, and also little gap to be done. So generally what we do, you can take very simple left hand, because your right hand is being used in the beginning. So you can take the left hand. Generally what we do, I'm showing the counting method. This is one of the way of counting. Now don't count. First of all, never use these lines. We never use lines in the counting at all. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, wrong. So only 3 to be counted, okay? Each finger only 3, not 4. So we start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, 11, 12. Then again, 13, 14, 15, 16. Once you start doing it, you will able to follow it. So that you can do in left. So that you are tuned to it. You understand? This is called synchronization. In the beginning, you will have some difficulties. That's why when we do, especially japam, covering, that to mala is not there. So this is how supposed to be done. Okay? However, so here it says, inhalation time, you need to do 12 times. And retention time, 16. And rechakah, dasah onkara, during exhalation, 10. And this is called pranaya. In fact, as I say more and more, especially when you start, doing pranayama regularly, actually it will be little tough to do 1:2 ratio of exhalation. One inhalation, two exhalation will be tough. It will not. Because as long as we say very carefully, when malams are more, malas means the impurities are more, we highlight on exhalation. When the nadi gets purified, slowly you will discover your exhalation length will come down. Then you may say, oh, if this is the case, I am not able to do it. Please don't talk this, okay? So it will show whether you are pure or impure, okay? You know better what is to be done. Continuing. Then how and where you stand. Okay? Prathame dvadasi matra, madhyame diguna mata, uttame triguna pranayamasya nirnayah. So he divides into 3 categories. So prathama, madhyama, and uttama. So the first is medium, middle stage, and uttama, the best. So what he says? Prathame dvadasi matra. So he who is able to chant 12 times Onkara while inhaling. So that means 12, 16, 10. Correct? Able to manage the count properly. Not okay? It's okay, that's a hand I am saying. Then only. So it has to be synchronized. Then comes what? That is called beginning stage. Whereas when it becomes diguna, so diguna means 24, 32, and 20. So that becomes what? Madhyama. And third one, the best one, Uttama, is called Triguna, 3 times. That means 12 into 3, 36. 16 into 3, 48. 10 into 3, 30. I hope you get the figure. Then how to know this? Okay, these are the, okay, but really, can I make out whether I am improving or not? He says, don't worry. You can make out. Very simplest way. Through your body, you can make out. How? Let us read. अधमे चुद्यते धर्मः सरि घर्मः कंपो भवति मध्यमे उत्तिष्ठत्युत्तमे योगी ततो वायुं निरोधये. I have told many times, keep practicing Nadi Shuddhi till sweat comes. Until and unless sweat comes, you are not supposed to do Nadis. Stop Nadi Shuddhi. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, I am in Europe. Winter. Is it so? Whether you are in Europe or in Chennai makes no difference. Don't give me excuse. Do you know what he says? He goes one step ahead. That's why when you people ask this question, I say, well, I have to answer this way, okay? He says, don't worry. If the dharma comes, means sweat comes, you are just ordinary practitioner, adhama. And if no dharma comes, no sweating comes, that means you are just wasting your time. Okay? Clear? So adhame chudyate dharmaha. Sweating has to be there. Kampa bhavati madhyame. So that means your body will start shaking, trembling. It will happen like because that energy will be so strong while holding. So when the kampanam happens, that is in fact the beginning stage of anandam. Then only you will start falling in love with pranayama. And if you manage that kampanam stage. So that is called madhyama. And of course, uttishtat uttame yogi. You will discover when you start literally lifting yourself, your body will become so light. In fact, you will never feel that you are having body. That's why I said long back. When you do pranayama properly, after that, if when you close your eyes or during pranayama time, when you are doing it, when somebody talks nearby to you, you will feel as though you are in 10th floor, the person is in ground floor. In fact, this trick was being adopted by one organization, and they started making called flying yoga with those days camera and other things, all the pillow, this, that, better. In West, it became big. So they adopted this. And some tricks they followed, some marketing they did, and they did a big job. So that's why he says, Uttishtat utami yogi, tataha, therefore. What should do? Vayum nirodhayat. Practice pranayama. Om Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all of you.